first step in loving yourself is clean up your relationships because life's too short. Hi lovies, it's Cherie. This is gonna be like the start of maybe a series where I just chat about topics. And I had mentioned this a couple months ago, and I got a whole bunch of really good suggestions, but I'm just really bad at these because I talk so much that it's hard for me to formulate my thoughts into like cohesive thoughts. But yeah, so I had a suggestion on my anniversary video to do a series on like loving yourself and like self-confidence and stuff like that. And I really like that idea because one, it's February and so love things. Two, it's the beginning of a new year. Like let's start off being awesome. And three, yeah. So I'm coming at you fresh out of bed, waiting for things to heat up outside so I can go work in the garden. And I just kind of want to maybe break this up into a series where like for the month of February I do loving yourself, yakety smackities. So the first section of loving yourself, I believe, is focusing on your relationships. And I mean that broadly. I mean all relationships, work relationships, family relationships, friendships, and other lovey sexual friend relationships, marriages, whatever. Those. And I'm not perfect, you know. It took me a long time to accept myself. I really think that the first step in getting to love yourself is getting to know yourself. Because if I had taken my 20s, my early 20s, you know, from like early to mid 20s to like find myself and focus on myself and not worry so much about making other people in my life happy, I probably would have come to this conclusion way sooner. Master of knowing things, but these are just things that I have discovered over the last 10 years that have really helped me focus. The first thing is stop dating dicks. I want to use that term very seriously. Stop dating dicks. I spent, you know, 9 years of my 20s dating different dicks, and they were all just different levels of dick. And they all had different ways of being mean or hurting me or being not nice or not worth my time. And I wasted so much time investing in these people who did not care about me really. They may have even thought that they did, but they didn't, or they wouldn't be doing the things that they were doing. I tried to convince myself my whole 20s that this, you know, the relationships were pain and relationships were work, and they were, you know, you really had to struggle, and you know, it's not love if it's not constantly butting heads. And that is not true. That is not love. I don't know what that is, but it's not love. So I really honestly feel like if you are in a relationship that is toxic, if they are mean, if they are abusive, if they are verbally abusive, mentally abusive, if they cheat on you, if they lie to you, if they tear you down, if they tell you you're anything less than the awesomeness that you are, they're a waste of your time. Because a true relationship, someone who truly loves you, is going to love you for all of your crazies. You're going to be good enough in every way. And anything else is just a waste. Because love is easy. Love is smooth waters. Love is loving each other when you're pissed. And it took me a really long time to realize that. You know, I've dated drug addicts. I've dated cheaters. I've dated guys with major issues. And I put so much effort in trying to save them or fix them or do something to make their life better that I totally forgot about myself. And that's not fair. And it was a waste of my life. So I really feel like if you're in a relationship like that, it's time to move on. And I know it feels hard because I went through this whole like phase where I thought I would never do any better. Like this was the best guy I would ever date. And even though it was problematic and he made me feel like shit a lot, you know, I couldn't do any better. And that's not true. I don't care what size you are. I don't care what's wrong with you. I don't care what you think about yourself. There is someone out there who's going to love you regardless and in every way, and probably more because of those quirks. Because if someone is lying to you or not being faithful or telling you that you're not good enough, that's abusive. You know, they're mentally abusing you. You may not realize it. You may not look at it that way, but I do. You know, I've had menfolk tear me down and tell me I wasn't good enough or tell me that things about myself weren't good enough, and I would rather be alone. And that was kind of the realization that like, I was like, you know what? I would rather live by myself forever with my dog than deal with one more of you twat waffles. So that was kind of the turning point for me, is I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done dating all of these wasted people that don't care about me. And I took a good 2.5 years of being single and just focusing on myself and like hobbies that I enjoy and doing things that I liked and building friendships that, you know, built me up and that I could help build them up to kind of get that confidence out there. And then once I got to know myself better and I realized the things that I really enjoyed doing, I met someone who had those same interests. And I had been repressing my own interests for so long and putting myself into someone else's interests that it took a big chunk of time for me to figure out who I really was, because for so long I had been just trying to be someone else's someone. And then because I had just kind of accepted myself the way that I am and said in my own brain, you know, this is me. I don't care if you like it or not. I kind of attracted my husband to me. Like the universe sent him my way because they were like, oh, okay, she's ready now. She's ready now to give herself to someone. And that's kind of what happened with me and my husband. I did not know how bad my relationships were until I met Chris. I didn't know how horrible I was treated until I met Chris. You know, once I'd been single for a long time and I kind of approached the relationship with Chris very slowly because I was like, I don't know about you. You know, I had brought someone into my life who was supposed to be there. So, you know, you can't love someone else until you love yourself, until you know yourself and know what you want and know what you're dealing with and know what you're putting out. You can't give yourself to anyone else because you're really just going to be faking it through the relationship. And, you know, and meeting my husband and having such a good relationship now, I can totally see clearly all of the crap that I put up with for 10 years from all these dudes that are just not worth it. And like, I want you to know right this second that if you're in a relationship where they don't accept you for who you are, they make you feel bad about yourself, or they tear you down, or they cheat on you, or they lie, you don't have to put up with that. You know, life is too short to waste any moments on someone who doesn't value you 100%, because you are worth it. And I guarantee that even if you have to be single for a little bit, there is someone out there who is meant for you and they will make you feel complete. And when you meet them, it's going to feel like home. It's going to feel like a puzzle piece has come together. I'm telling you, if someone only has negative things to say about you, if someone only tears you down, if someone just does not relish in your awesome sauce, then they don't need to be in your life. You are worth it. You are amazing. You are gorgeous. There's nothing wrong with you. Nothing wrong with you today that you need to fix right now that is causing you to have to stay in this kind of toxic situation. Get out, be alone, and find yourself. And then you will attract someone who completes you completely. Cheese and crackers. Aside from, you know, romantic relationships, you need to clean up that friendship area. I have, well, not always, but in my 20s, my, you know, ultimate goal was to have as many friends as possible. And then I realized that I would rather have one really good friend who really truly cared about me than have 20 friends who really didn't give a shit. And that is so important, to have those people in your life who honestly care about you, who build you up, who are there for you when you need to call someone at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're crying and you're upset about something, or you're having a shit day and they want to come over and like bring movies and like snacky snacks. Those are good friends. You need those kind of people in your life, not backstabbers, not people who talk about you behind your back, not people who like subtly insult you and make you feel bad about yourself, not people who embarrass you in public around other people to try and make you feel less than. You need to have friendships that are lasting and worth it. And I think that's a big key. Because just like with romantic relationships, you don't want to waste your life putting all this effort into a friendship that's not benefiting you at all. It's just tearing you down. The last relationships you need to work on is your family. And this is a hard one because they're blood. But I have cut family out. There are chunks of my family that I don't speak to. I am not friends with them on Facebook. I do not talk to them. I do not pass go, do not collect $200. Like, you're a waste of my time. That's because just because they're family doesn't mean they care about you. It doesn't mean that they love you. It doesn't mean that it's worth it for you to punish yourself and those around you who do care by investing in these relationships just because they're blood. You know, unfortunately we can't pick our family, but you can choose not to associate with them. And it's better just because they don't value me and I don't want to value someone who doesn't value me. So I really think that in all relationships of your life, you need to like really like grind it down and realize the people that matter and invest all of yourself in those people if they're investing all of themselves into you, because that is true friendship and that will help you love yourself more, because the more value you put on your own self, the more value you put out into the universe, and the more the universe gives it back to you, and that is very true. So my homework for you in February is to go through your whole life and clean house. Anyone who tears you down, makes you feel bad, talks crap about you, there's no need to have them in your life. Just get them out, and you know, don't look back. You don't have to explain anything to these people. Just stop responding. Just stop talking to them. Put the Band-Aid on. And so that was the intro into how I started to love myself more. And it's a struggle. You know, there are days where I'm like, oh, I'm not pretty, or oh, I'm just so stupid, you know, or oh, I have those days. But then you have to, when you think those thoughts, you have to like stop and say, whoa, whoa, obviously that isn't true, or no one would want to be around you. So that's just your little angry brain in there telling you lies. So go through your life, find out the people that really matter. If you're in a bad relationship, just cut it off. I mean, don't waste any more time. You could die tomorrow and you just wasted 20 years of your life trying to fix somebody who doesn't really care about you, someone who just tears you down. You know, it's just, you know, life is fleeting. You're gonna blink and like you're, you know, 80. So why waste those valuable years on people who suck? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I'm going to try and do one every week. So next week I'm going to do like body confidence, which is probably the hardest one for me. And I don't know how we'll end it because I think there's only 3 weeks left in February. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you learned a little bit of something or got a little bit more confidence just from hearing me tell you that you can do it. And get out there and live your life as happy as you can every single day. And don't waste your time on twat waffles. All right, bye guys.